The bull saluted and paced on ahead. Volkov never liked to walk through a forest at night. It made him feel as though the stars had been sucked out of the sky. After more than an hour, even the deep winter snow could no longer find its way through the tiger's wooded canopy. There were no stars above and no snow below, just the ice-cold embrace of a pitch-black wood. As they trudged through the frozen mud and pines, Volkov's gut started to twitch. His gut had never let him down. Like a dog sensing danger long before it arrives, Volkov's gut always told him when trouble was brewing, and the reindeer clearly agreed. The beasts came to a complete standstill, honking in their throats nervously, their hooves skittish on the ground. "What's got into them?" seethed the captain. As a born and bred Siberian, no one knew more about reindeer than Volkov's handler, not even the actual reindeer. "I wish I knew, Captain. I've never seen them like this, never." Volkov's gut began to rumble more steadily. A quick gesture of his hand, and his column of men pulled down their night vision goggles. Everything turned to electric green, and the reindeer stopped. As Yenotov and the other handlers pushed and prodded their now immobile animals, something through the trees moved with a flicker of dark green over black. Volkov raised his weapon, and those not tending to the herd followed suit. The targeting dot from his laser slowed by a tree, and something behind it moved. 6 o'clock, 8, 11. One by one, his men called out movement in the trees, and seemingly from everywhere. "Brace!" ordered Volkov. The Spetsnaz dropped to one knee and prepared to fire. All of a sudden, their supply column of reindeer broke free and fled from their handlers, all 12 animals with their heavy packs and Volkov's much-needed supplies bolting as a feathered storm flew at the squad, a flapping of 100 wings, magpies, pigeons, sparrows and hawks, swallows, barn owls, finches and crows, filling the air in a living squall. Then, just as suddenly, parting. Nothing. Volkov and his bemused men got back to their feet and were trying to understand what had just happened when the first scream called through the darkness ahead of them. Without a word, his men fanned out wide, running as best they could through the undergrowth and straight to the sound of their screaming comrades. A little way forward, something big was running towards them, crashing through branches with all the violent force of a crazed animal. It was Golkin, Volkov's number 2. His helmet and scarf had come away, lost somewhere in his flight, and his eyes rolled wildly in their sockets. The man was crazed with terror. Volkov had seen this before with new recruits, young soldiers that had no place with the Spetsnaz. But Golkin? The man was unbreakable, or at least he had been until now. "Golkin, calm yourself. What happened?" Volkov grabbed the man by the shoulders and shook him hard. "What, man? What are you saying?" "Magic and monsters," Golkin finally managed. 2 of the squadron stayed with their sobbing second-in-command, as Volkov led the others forward. Some way through the forest, the trees began to thin till they came to a vast clearing. At its centre, fire pits bellowed, and a great iron structure jutted out of the ground like an angry tooth. To Volkov, it looked very much like the beginnings of some fortress. The Spetsnaz had Grade 1 clearance. They would know of such a thing, surely. Why had he not been informed? And what had happened to the sky? At first he thought he was looking at a mirror, or that the world had turned upside down. The air was black with smoke from the fire pits, and the stars, every one of them, had fallen to the ground. They lay along the clearing, too many to count, a great, wondrous carpet of yellow and white in all its shimmering glory. Volkov and his men removed their goggles, and the stars roared. What had looked like heaven quickly became hell.